Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to discuss the very important topic, which is anthropological theories, and particularly if we focus on what topic that we are going to do is Margeret Mead. Okay, we are doing chapter 6, that is anthropological theories. Okay, from paper 1. Alright, so now as we have talked about the culture personality school, we have discussed about the Ruth Benedict. We have a basic understanding of this particular school, that is culture personality school. Okay, so in that we are going to write down a short note or a note on Margaret Mead and her contribution. So Margaret Mead was a student of Franz Boas. This is first thing about the culture personality, or if you say female anthropologist of this particular school is concerned. The contribution of Franz Boas to anthropology is of immense importance, and is someone who brought anthropology into limelight by starting the fieldwork tradition and understanding the need of data. So Margaret Mead was a student of Franz Boas and Ruth Benedict. She is known for her three books. First is Coming of Age in Samoa, 1928. Second book is Growing Up in New Guinea in 1930. And third is Sex and Temperament in Three Primitive Societies, 1935. Okay, so she was concerned with comparative study. Similar to Ruth Benedict. Okay, she was also interested in comparative study of the experiences which are associated with puberty among American adolescents. It is a matter of tension and anxiety. If we talk about American society, it is a matter of anxiety and tension for American people. Okay, it is marked with the rebellious tendency in adolescent personality. Okay, it is basically marked with the rebellious tendency in adolescent's personality. She was interested in finding out whether puberty and the related changes can be attributed to biology or culture. So she compared the experience of Western and the Samoans, and that is how she basically talked about the puberty, how it is different or how it is associated with American society. It was anxiety and something, and then she wrote down this book, that is Coming of the Age in Samoans, where she studied the puberty of the girls, and how if this tension or this personality, that is the adolescent personality associated with puberty, is a product of biology or culture, was talked by Margaret Mead. Now Samoans were less emotional than American adolescents. She found that Samoans were less emotional than American people. So this was first that she found out. And puberty or adolescent was not a matter with storm and rebellion, but as a gradual development of life. That is how the Samoans used to take this thing. Okay, then puberty never create anxiety amongst the Samoans, and biology never determined, but it is the cultural practice which determines the puberty and related changes. So this is one thing, that Samoans were less emotional than American, and they accepted this adolescence and puberty as a part and parcel of life, and they never create any anxiety or any such situation in Samoans. Okay, so Mead was interested in finding out how culture differs in their basic orientation with special reference to the gender roles, and she examined the third in that third book, that is the sex and temperament in the three primitive societies, where she studied first Arapesh. You have to find out where this tribes or this societies, these communities are from. Second is Mundugumor, and third is Shamboli. Okay, so these are the three primitive societies that she had studied. So three communities are basically the neighboring community. Okay, the three communities are neighboring community. They share more or less same geographical location but different culture, different population size, and different demographic features. Okay, so population is different. Okay, then demographic feature is different, and then the culture is different for all the three communities. The Arapesh inhabited an area which doesn't have any chance of being attacked by the enemies due to the geographical location, and members have the sense of security as far as Arapesh is concerned, and it has low population density. Okay, low population density. I hope you're writing it down along with me, the important points that I'm saying. Okay, then the members do have the sense of security, and they have low population density, and the growth of agriculture yield is also low. The density and the agriculture yield is basically good but low, but due to the low population it is basically sufficient for every people. Then people are good cultivator. Okay, there is basically security, less population, more resources, and the land is available in plenty, and hence the land is available in plenty, and there is no competition for resources, and there is no struggle. The personality trait of the people are basically peace and loving nature, and non-quarrelsome, cooperative, and sympathetic. See, as far as we'll write down on the second page, next page only, if these things are met, for example Arapesh. Okay, we are talking about Arapesh now. As far as Arapesh community is concerned, there is low population density. Okay, there is a lot of resource. Okay, there is a lot of resource. If we talk, then there is a lot of land which is in plenty. Okay, there, and people, they are loving and caring. This is the outcome. Okay, so we'll write down next. So here the people, there is no struggle. Okay, there is no struggle, or you can say the struggle is equivalent to Anaya Pandey's struggle. Okay, that is not something that you're going to write. Okay, so basically there is no struggle, there is no competition. Okay, so अब ये कोई इतना मतलब चीज़ें जो है वो बहुत सारी है. There are things which are in plenty, all right, and if you see that there are very less struggle, so the outcome is the society is loving and caring. Okay, society is loving and caring. You see, there is no quarrels, no fights, people are cooperative, and people are sympathetic towards each other, and both men and women are submissive, and submissiveness is a virtue, and it is practice of worthy trait, and it is praised of worthy trait. And among Arapesh, the respect for tradition and culture is given by both men and women, and hence now they have a lot of time, they have a lot of resource, so now the tradition will also be there. So this is very important, that these are the basics, and then this becomes outcome. For example, as far as Indian society is concerned, we focus on these particular thing, but when this particular area, that is land, resource, okay, population density, etc., will be not in the range, how are we supposed to have these outcomes when our inputs are not ready? So this is the first, that is Arapish. Now we can talk about the second community. Okay, the second community is okay, so the second community it is Mundugumor. So as far as Mundugumor is concerned, they are superstitious. Okay, superficial activities they perform. Then we'll write down, they're suspicious, superficial, competitive, then quarrelsome, egoistic, not kind or unkind, jealous, etc. So this is basically the Dionysian cultural feature. Okay, then according to Ruth Benedict. Okay, now we are doing Margeret Mead. This is because of some of the cultural practices and general rules. Both men and women are aggressive, and worst sufferer are the children. So here in this society, that is Mundugumor, both male and female, they are aggressive, and children basically suffers. Both male and female are aggressive, and hence the children are the worst sufferer. Mead relates it to one of the cultural practice. Among Mundugumor, the social status is measured on the basis of number of wife a man has, and daughter can be exchanged to get more wife with another group. So here the status in this society, that is Mundugumor, is depending upon the number of wives, and for getting wives there'll be exchange of daughters. Exchange of daughters in groups. So this is the practice which Mundugumor have. Now plurality of wife disturbed the peace of the family. So as there are going to be a lot of wives, so the peace in the family is going to be at the stake, because one wife is okay, fine, but if there are number of wives who are important for the status of man, if there are n number of wives, that status of that man will be n times. So that is how the society is there. Okay, Mundugumor, but this will hamper the peace of family. Okay, that will hamper the peace of family. And because they are highly insecure, okay, mothers are scared of raising their daughters. Okay, mothers are scared of raising their daughter because they are highly insecure that female infanticide is also a practice. Okay, female infanticide is also a practice, so mother is also very much scared. Now female infanticide practice is very common as far as Mundugumor is concerned. So mother-daughter relationship is strained. So mother-daughter, this relationship is always strained. See, if this woman, if she'll have a daughter and this is considered her husband, okay, so what her husband will do, he'll give this daughter to, see, daughter 1, okay, this is husband 2, and this is wife 2, okay, mother 2. So what he'll do, this husband, they'll also have a daughter, okay, call her D2. So he'll marry this D2 in order to have another wife, okay, W2 D2, okay, so she becomes his wife, and now this daughter will be given to this family. But this is not a concern for her. The concern is this, okay, and this will only happen with when this daughter 1 will be exchanged with this family. So hence the relation between mother and daughter, that is mother is becoming a reason, daughter is becoming a reason for her sorrows. So the relation between mother and daughter will be strained. strained. And father-son relationship is also strained as daughters and sisters are exchanged. When daughters and sisters are exchanged, the relation between the father and son is also going to be stressed. Every member in is found to be in competition with another. So this competition is there, and now you can understand that what is the level of competition that they are going to have, because when women is included in the discussion or in the fight, that ultimately becomes a competition of high level. Now this cultural fact instill the aggression and aggressiveness in the personality. Now this a lot of factors, okay, this all cultural factors will lead to aggressiveness among the Mundugumor. Now the last is Shamboli. Okay, the last is Shamboli. Just give me a minute. Shamboli. As far as Shamboli is concerned, the cultural tradition are thus male acquire submissive temperament and female possess aggression. So here male, they are basically submissive. This is the parallel universe what many of the women are willing, and female are aggressive. Okay, in their culture females are authoritative. Okay, the second is female, they are decision maker, similar like the Mahishmati. And women are free to choose their husband, and the male basically cook. Okay, he cleans the house, he provides food to children, and while women are having a good time with their friends and companions. So men are kind and submissive while women are aggressive and authoritative. So she conclude the culture and personality process differs from society to society. Now she did these three communities, and now she told that this culture and this cultural pattern, these are different. Okay, these are different for different societies, so this is not common for all. Now there is a national character study. For Ruth Benedict we studied about Japanese and Russians. For Russians basically Grorer we did. Okay, now we will do the national character study under Margeret Mead. So Mead collaborated with another author. So she collaborated with another author, Rhoda Matrox. Okay, Rhoda Matrox, and published a book in 1953, The Study of Culture at Distance. The Study of Culture at Distance. So this is very important. If you are able to understand these names of book, the scholars which comes. So when you're having your own, if you're writing this book, make sure that in earlier pages you just leave a lot of pages. Okay, in the upside you only write down 1 point. For example, if we are doing culture personality school, only write down Mead, and see, you will have to highlight the points. Okay, that what Mead say, 1 to 3 point, these are the three communities what Mead studies. Okay, then this is the book, these are the three books. Okay, Sex and Temperament, for example, or Coming in Age to the Samoans. So these are the names of books. Then you have to write down the contribution, that is national character study, and then you'll write down the Mead and Rhoda Matrox, and you'll write down the name, that is the study of culture at a distance. So you have to make sure that you have this few pages, because at the end of the day we are going to have discussion or understanding of these pages only. Alright. Now, they never used traditional anthropological methods like participant observation. Rather than, they studied the national character as reflected in the personality of inhabitants without making direct observation. So this is what she did. Okay, we'll repeat this particular portion. First, that is in the book, that is the study of culture at distance. They never used traditional anthropological methods like participant observation, rather studied the national character as reflected in the personality of inhabitant without making direct observation. Now, the methodology was different. Okay, the primarily they studied the socialization process. So primarily they studied the socialization process and related it to an adult personality. The national character of America was studied. They argued that the baby which is born in USA, Japan, Russia or Korea, there is no difference in their personality at the time of birth. But the difference start coming up because of certain reasons. The first is family socialization, second is school education, third is mechanism of growing up. Mechanism of growing up in the community. So these are the three reasons. So this is very common that every child who may be born in USA, Europe, Japan, Russia, China, India, at the time of birth this child will be similar, but this child will become different when it will come to age. That will be depending upon family socialization, school education and mechanism of growing up. Now, before this joint publication, she wrote a book. Before this, that is the study of culture at distance, Margeret Mead, she wrote a book. The book named Keep Your Powder Dry. Keep Your Powder Dry. An anthropologist looked at America in 1942. In this book, she examined the historical depth of the tradition of America, its continuity, its changes, and the manner in which it influenced the individual personality. They are all important contribution to the national character study. So, anthropologists look at America 1942. So in this book she examined the historical depth of tradition of America. So what she studied is historical depth of traditions of America. Alright, so this is what they did. Now the third person here that we are going to discuss is Ralph Linton, but it will be good if we do it in separate videos. So thank you for watching and have a good time.